5 years ago when we started this whole thing, nobody had any idea whether it's going to be any successful, little successful, or what might happen. And so now, having 3 great albums under our belt feels amazing. And the fans really, support us very much, and they love these new albums as good as the old stuff, maybe even better, So we're very happy.
Actually, it was the first metal album ever to reach the #1 spot in Germany ever. So
was it?
Yes.
I didn't know that, but
Yep.
It was certainly our first #1 spot after all these years. It's an incredible feat. Yeah, it felt amazing, and we kicked some sort of pop diva off the charts, which is amazing even more. I mean, she was #1 forever and ever, and here comes Accept and pushes her away. Quite amazing. Felt good.
I was watching a show of Accept in Hamburg, and I was a little bit disappointing. It was without any emotion. For me, there was no band on stage. Playing-wise, it was okay, but that was without any emotion and without
automatic.
It was automatic, like do it and then go.
It's just hilarious at this point. It's just a big joke in our lives, and we just go on about our lives, and we do our thing, and we let these things go by and laugh about it. He's actually sort of our press agent in a way, He keeps us in the... We didn't write the song from our perspective as we are the dying breed, even though in a way we are, because but we really wrote it more as a tribute to the heroes that we grew up with. Because when we were teenagers 40 years ago, we listened to Judas Priest and AC/DC and Deep Purple, and a lot of these bands, while they're still around, you can already see that one day they're not going to be around, and as members already passing away, and it makes you think,
They truly inspired us, and a lot of our music reflects the influences from these 3 bands. I mean, you can still hear that, and just to see them. And we just played with Judas Priest in Brazil, and it's just a great feeling still. It's wonderful. But there is definitely a dying breed there. And there's a few in there.
Yeah, it makes you wonder what's going to happen when all these guys,
yeah.
when one day they're going to, there's going to be no more Judas Priest and no more AC/DC.
No more Lemmy and no more
so
Ozzy. If it all goes away, what's left?
Hopefully it's going to be a long time before that happens, but one day, define success nowadays? Ticket sales, maybe. Record sales, as we all know, they go down every year, so you can't really ever say, is this album as successful as one that we did 20 years ago, because the circumstances have changed so much. And I think the only thing we have to judge it by is the reaction of the fans. How excited are they, and how much of an impact has a new album in the reaction of the fans, So, and judging by that, I think our last 3 albums have been as successful, or maybe even more successful than the stuff we've done in the 80s. Of course, if you take only record sales, then, that's unfair. You can't, it's like comparing apples to oranges. But what is it? It's a good question.
I mean, there's a lot of bands out there, you're not really sure if they're really enjoying what they're doing anymore, if it's just a way of survival. Mm-hmm. And we truly enjoy every night what we're doing, and we see the sides, we've been together forever, and we're best friends, so that in itself, to me, is success.
Because you have to understand, we came back to the music scene because we really wanted to. Nobody forced us to. I could have just stayed a photographer forever, But it wasn't what my heart was. I mean, I get so much more inspired by making music that we choose this much more difficult route. And, you know, this is not certainly, if you were in this because for other reasons, it would be silly, you know. If you're trying to make a living playing music this way, it's really, you'd be quite stupid. But we do it not for that. We do it because our passion, and this is what we are meant to do. There was a few years where we didn't really talk to each other that much or didn't call each other up.
Well, because we had different lives. I mean, he lived in Nashville. I lived, 900 miles away. I had kids. We had different lives, you know.
That's right. I became a photographer. He had his kids and did his thing. So there wasn't a whole lot to talk about. Basically, once in a while we sent each other emails, but we didn't have anything to do every day, sort of together. But I don't.
And after that, there's not much to talk about now either. We
That's
said
right.
it all. We know it all.
We're just like an old married couple. We sit silently across each other
Do crossword puzzles.
and look at our iPhones.
Yeah.
Have always been sort of. I mean, I've lived longer in the U.S. than I've lived in Germany at this point. Even though I will always stay in my heart a German, you know. So that part never changed. And if it's just a place to live, it doesn't mean we've changed characters or anything.
Well, since we were 18, since we started touring, we were like world citizens more than anything. You know, we were never home.
Right.
So it doesn't matter. We just picked one place we liked to live in. You know.
If we would have ended up in Athens, living here in an apartment somewhere,
Everybody would ask the same question.
we
Why are you living in
wouldn't
Athens?
we wouldn't be Greeks. Like we would still be the Germans
Yeah.
living, you know.
Can this race be won? The fall of the empire. Or has the end
Well, thank you very much. Look at
Thanks
this.
for having us.
Gorgeous. Acropolis back there. Yeah. Just pointing it out to the fans in case they don't know their own Acropolis, you know.
begun?